Imagine you resume work as an accountant in an organization where there are no financial records, there is no trace of financial transaction, there is no clear financial statement, and to crown it all staffs there are less than 3 months, and you have been saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that they move out of their messy records and messy work into a proper financial structure and having a real financial statement. If I was in your position, this is exactly how I'm going to handle that situation. Hi Academians, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Oluwadamilola. I'm a chartered accountant and the convener of Young Accountants Hub. And my mission here is very simple: to ensure that you have a meaningful accounting career and also pass your ICANN exams. So today we are going to be looking at how to move out of messy records and transactions to a real financial statement. So come along with me as we walk through this journey together. Make sure to watch it to the end. Hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and share with a friend. In this kind of situation, I know a lot of accountants would panic, but guess what? This is the time for you to show that you are a real accountant and you are in the organization to bring real value. So in this video, I will take you through step by step on how to handle a messy account and produce a real financial statement from it. And note that it is not about perfection, it is about being systemic and strategic. The very first mistake people make is to jump straight into the numbers, and you don't want to do this. The very first thing you want to do is to make sure you understand the business. What type of transaction do they do? Where do they get their revenue from? What makes up their cost? What type of operational costs do they incur? You want to understand the business as a whole. If it's a school, if it's a restaurant, if it's a manufacturing company, you want to understand the nature of their business, how they get their money, what makes up their revenue, and what makes up their cost. Because if you don't understand the business, you cannot understand the numbers. Yes, so before you touch anything, make sure to understand the business. Step 2, you want to gather all available data. At this point, you are not looking for perfection. You just want to start something. So you want to get their invoices, you want to get their receipts, you want to get their bank statements, you want to get their spreadsheet, anything that they can provide you with, any information they can provide you, even WhatsApp messages. You want to ensure that you collate them all together. So you want to get all relevant or all available data at your disposal. Step 3, you want to reconstruct cash flow. And what do I mean? That is, when everything looks messy, the go-to is your bank statement. Check their bank statement. What money comes in, what money goes out. This will help you to understand the nature of their transactions. This will help you to know, okay, this is what's making up their revenue. This is what makes up their expenses. If they've bought any assets, if they have incurred or collected any loan, your bank statement is going to majorly reflect all of this transaction. In cases like this, your bank statement is always your go-to to reconstruct your cash flow, to understand what money comes in and what money goes out. Then step 4, you want to create a clean structure. What do I mean? You want to start building your chart of accounts. You want to start creating a process flow for transactions, and you want to ensure that transactions are now properly classified. The next thing you want to do is to rebuild your records gradually. What do I mean? From the bank statements, I'll start matching my record, start recording all the transactions, both the inflow and the outflow. The categories that I've already built in the previous step, I want to start putting my transaction in those categories. If you're using an accounting software, you want to post using that accounting software. You post all your transactions to the accounting software. If you're using an Excel sheet, you want to make sure that all the transactions on the bank statements, on the invoices, on the receipts, or anything you've been able to gather so far are now properly categorized into them. Then we move to the next step, which is identifying the gaps and estimates. Now, you've been able to post everything that you can see and you have actual figures for. Now you have reconciling items that are thrown out on your bank statement that you don't even know what they are about. This is where you start making assumptions and making estimates. There are some transactions that you will see and there's no like a reasonable figure to them. You don't have the accurate figure. You want to make assumptions, but mind you, while making your assumption, you want to note the basis of your assumption, the reason why you are estimating your maybe your land and building to be this amount, or you're estimating motor vehicle to be this amount, you want to make sure you write down your assumptions and you state the reason for making those assumptions and estimates because of future purpose. The next step is now to prepare your financial statement. You want to prepare your financial statement now that you've been able to record all your transactions and you have a trial balance. Hopefully, you now want to use the trial balance or your entries, your journal entries, to prepare your trial balance. Then from your trial balance, you want to go to your note to the account. You prepare your note to the account. Then from there, you link your statement of profit or loss, your statement of cash flow, your statement of financial position, statement of changes in equity, if any. So you want to make sure that you prepare your complete financial statement that can now be presented to the owner of the company or to the management. Now you have fixed the problem, but it doesn't end there, because once you stop at that step, after the preparation of financial statement, there will still be problem in the future. You now want to create a very good structure for their accounting transactions. You want to ensure that there is SOP, if necessary, which is even necessary. You have to ensure that there is a standard operating procedure, that's your SOP, that everybody in the finance department has to follow when they have to carry out their daily tasks, so as to ensure that everybody is following a uniform process in treating transactions. And you want to ensure that there is control in place. You put necessary approvals, necessary controls in place to ensure that no transaction happens without those controls and without those approvals in place. And you will also ensure that you have a proper recording system so that your business does not go back to chaos the way it was before. Now, let me tell you the truth. What I just explained is very interesting. It looks so easy, but trust me, I think I have had a client like that in 3 months we are unable to finish their messy account because they've had piling up since inception. The business has been around for like 10 years and there are no real records. And the last time it was audited was like 3 years ago, and even the audited records were not so accurate. So it takes time, it takes effort, it takes patience for all of this to come into full shape. But trust me, at the end of you fixing their financial statement from their messy records to getting a real financial statement, there's a promotion waiting for you. There is a well done waiting for you. That will even add to your value. You'll become somebody that the organization does not want to lose. And everything we've said, somebody is there saying, okay, how do I even know how to move from this messy transactions that you've explained? How do I practicalize it? How do I, how can it come into actual? How do I practice this before the real work? If you're looking for ways to ensure that you practice these tasks before the real world, before your interview or before your next job, that is why the Academy is here for you. Our practical accounting bootcamp is ongoing, and you can still register for this course, where we are going to be covering how to move from your messy records to a real financial statement. If you are yet to register, the link will be in the description below. Also, you can join our community for career mentorship, for guidance, for job, for networking, and for accounting updates and lessons like this. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel for more educational videos like this, and make sure to share with a friend that might be going for an interview or that is also in the accounting field. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, bye.